another week of the pilot. The survivors are still here. Well, I propose you ask some questions if you have any. We can discuss certain things.
I have a question, actually.
Sure.
Unfortunately, I haven't joined the previous session, so I'm not sure if it was already discussed. I have a question regarding the process for a mentor to join the teams. So is it the same as for other startup members? So we are supposed to look for the teams which might be interesting for us through matchmaking sessions and then contact the persons directly? Or is there any possibility via the platform to have an overview of the teams and join via the platform?
Yeah, both are possible. Let me give you a quick overview of how the whole matchmaking process is happening for everyone, so you understand how we did this. So yes, the idea is that, of course, first for the startups, the team is created by someone who is a team leader, and then other startup founders join. There is, at the moment, not much difference between what the team leader and other startups do. The only difference is that the team leader has more control than others. So, for example, she will be the one who will click on buttons to submit quests. So this is the only difference. Other than that, they work together, they sign a shareholders agreement together, and they share parts of the company between each other. So that's all fine. And then they start going through the first quest, which is for them to create a pitch deck presentation. Once that quest is done and approved by the game masters, that's when we consider them mentor ready.
Okay.
It means that mentors who are until that moment are playing all alone, doing their own first quest, get access to the teams that have prepared this pitch deck presentation who are mentor ready. And I will probably try to take a few screenshots of the platform after the meeting and put it on our Instagram and also in WhatsApp. Make sure that you follow one or the other, ideally both, because that's where we also put the updates. So from the mentor office, you will be able to access the teams that are, I think this is, I'm not sure, I have to ask the developers if they've changed this a bit, but you do have access to the teams that are ready to have a mentor. So it's the ones that passed the first quest. And then you can click on the chat to them so that you can actually start talking. You can also look at the pitch deck presentation itself. This is how you decide if you want to be with them, if the topic is interesting, if you think that there are certain things that you will be able to help them with. So a bit like matchmaking built in the platform, right? So that's part one. So you negotiate with them, and if both parties decide that yes, we want to work together, then you join the team. I think you have to click on join, and they have to approve. So the process is very simple. And you become part of their team, but before you can continue playing with them, there's another piece of legal paperwork that needs to be done, this time between the startup team and the mentor. So you have to sign something that's called an NDA with them, non-disclosure agreement. It's not necessary in real life for the mentors to do this, and usually it's never done, but we really wanted to put an NDA agreement into the game for everyone to test it out, because you will need it later on in real life. That's why we decided that a mentor would be a nice piece of the flow where to do this. An NDA agreement is basically, there's someone else coming. An NDA agreement is basically an agreement that says, hey, I don't know what happened. I think I clicked yes and didn't let someone in. I don't know. So an NDA agreement is basically a way for both parties to say, hey, we're going to be comfortable with telling secrets to each other, but we're not allowed to talk about the secrets to anyone other than to each other. So after that is done, then you can continue. Yeah, hi, Daisy. Then you can continue playing with the team and do the next quest with them. So from now on, every quest that they do, you need to help them from the mentorship position, and you will get, of course, paid a certain percentage of the reward that the team gets for the quest if they win the quest. So it's in your best interest to make sure that they win the quest. So you have to be as proactive as possible, make sure that you review the result before they submit it, or maybe give you advice and things like this. Yes, if you think that they've done a bad job and they need to work a bit harder on that, yeah, make sure they hear you, and maybe you find someone else in the platform, like an expert, who will be able to give more advice. So you need to make sure that the team passes the quests, because otherwise you will not get the money, you will not be able to pay rent for your office, and you will become homeless. That's the idea, that the mentor has to have some skin in the game in order for the startups to win the quests. So your first task is to help them prepare a video pitch based on that presentation that they did. And together with them, you make sure that they record a good video, so you can check it. You can tell them, hey, you have to practice a bit more before recording. Hey, let's edit this a bit better. So you basically like this, like the mirror for them, right? And then once that quest is submitted, then the startups, together with you, become what we call investor ready, which means that at that moment, the investors who until then were doing their solo quests, they get notified that, hey, there's startup teams that have recorded the video presentation. And then the investor does exactly what the mentor did, starts communicating with those teams after looking at the video quest, and they talk. And if they decide that, yes, sounds like a nice match, they start negotiating how much money does the investor give for what part of the company. And then the process is similar to what the mentor went through the team. They have to sign an agreement. In this case, it's going to be a CLA, convertible loan agreement, which means that the investor is given X amount of tokens to get a certain share of the company in a certain amount of time. And then everyone starts playing together. So the mentor makes sure that they win the quest so that she can get a percentage of their winnings. An investor has a slightly different role. They, like in real life, they open doors to you, which means that startup teams can do quests that teams without investors cannot. So there's certain quests that only having an investor on the team can open. But of course, there is a downside to investment, as Daisy was talking about, I think, last time in real time. Yes, once you accept money from someone, you have to give something back. So you don't only give a part of their company back, but you also give some of the control to the investor. So the investor will be able to decide what quests are taken. So this is a bit of the simplified version of reality that we wanted to build. And let's hope if that's going to be clear to everyone. But that's the idea. That the mentor makes sure that startups grow. You should, as a mentor, push them towards taking skill lab modules, so making sure that you add knowledge to their team as well. Investor puts money in and wants to see more money coming out, so the investor will be pushing more quests. Let's go to more levels. Let's do it quicker. Come on. And the mentor has to be like, slow down. We need to do it better, not quicker. So you see a bit of this, pulling into different directions, which is what happens. Oh, so cute, kitty.
My cat ran away and came back pregnant. So now I have kittens.
That usually what happens. Oh, so cute.
Sorry, he was biting my toes.
I think I pretty much answered the question, Elena. If you have any extra questions, do ask.
Thank you very much for the extensive explanation. Now the process really looks clear to me.
Yeah. Of course, after the pilot, we will make sure that we create an extensive FAQ or whatever to put everything together. But for now, it was a bit impossible to do because we're changing things on a daily basis, right? So as soon as we get feedback from the users, they're saying it's not clear, we don't understand this. So I have to go to the developers and say, hey, can we change this a bit because it doesn't make it doesn't B doesn't follow from A very easily. User gets confused, and then they don't know what to do. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if we consider that the pilot lasts for 4 weeks, then the mentor and the investor are joining at different point of times, at a later point of times, that this means that in practice we would have approximately 2 weeks when all together are playing, because the teams need some time.
Yes,
to take
yes. The pilot is very quick, and we're realizing that, for example, for matchmaking of the teams, you guys need a lot more time than a couple of days. So, of course, once we launch officially, that will be unlimited. So more time and more opportunities to meet each other. And yes, so together, the mentor, investor, and the team will, of course, not play for 4 weeks. But that's actually not a bad thing, because you get to experience both sides. You get to experience playing by yourself and playing with someone else in the team. Because that's important, right? So part of entrepreneurship is also growing yourself as a person, and the other part is being able to play in the team and knowing how to play in the team and knowing how to resolve conflict, because things happen, of course. So all of these interactions. So yes, the pilot is like a quick, fast-forward version of what would happen in real life, of course, in a longer period.
Mm-hmm.
But at least I think it gives the idea of how the game goes. And of course, if there's nothing happening at the game, for example, if you're waiting for the reaction of someone else, you go to the skill lab, and there is a gazillion things for you to do. So you never kind of waste time, except that you just go from one activity to another, right? You go from the game to the educational part, or you attend sessions. So there's plenty of things that we think you can do, and that's why it's very flexible. So it fits for anyone who just wants to spend a couple of hours a day, for example, or a few hours a week on that, or someone who wants to do it full time. So there's plenty. We don't expect people to do everything. It's humanly impossible to do everything that we have here in these 4 months. But that's the idea, that you choose and pick what to start with, and then eventually you kind of build your own personal route.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. Thank you.
Can I ask you something, please?
Sure.
Yesterday, we were discussing, we were doing the shareholders contract.
Yeah.
Me and Shaku. Will it be checked by someone when we sign it?
No, but you can ask for that to be done. So once again, the idea is that we try to mimic real life as much as possible, and in real life, no one is going to check your shareholders agreement. But you can do this. You can do it yourself. You can reach out to the legal coach either through the WhatsApp or through the platform, and you can ask him, hey, can you please take a look at it?
Because I thought when in real life you set up a company, like for example here in Malta, there's the MFSA.
Mm-hmm.
The MFSA, right? So when you set up the company, you need to go through them.
Yeah,
so
but
they would see your document. No?
Shareholders agreement is not part of setting up a company. It's not required by anyone. Shareholders agreement is something that you do for yourself, not to be in a situation when, or if a few months down the road you have a fight with your co-founder and you have no idea how to get out of the situation without killing the company.
Okay.
So this is something for you, and that's the biggest problem, that because it's not obligatory, a lot of startups don't do this, because it's an extra expense, right? So you need to have a lawyer because you have no idea what it is. You need to.
Yeah, that's why I said someone would check it, because I mean, if we fill it up, we don't fill it up properly. Like for example, if we do 50 capital shares at a nominal value of 1, but then we do a value of like 100, a capital value of 100. So I mean, if we do the numbers wrong, I think we did them right, let me say that. But I was under the impression that they will be looked at. So
no. it's like in real life when you do taxes, no one checks on you until one day the tax authorities knock on your door and they say, hey, we're going to do an audit. And by that time, you better be
go
ready.
to the accountant for that, so you're not like alone.
Of course. But here you can also have a lawyer in the company, which is, of course, an extra expense as well. That's exactly why in the platform we have the marketplace, where if you are in doubt or if you don't know how to do something, if it's legal, then you go to the marketplace and you will buy a session with a legal coach. If you want to spend, for example, half an hour with him, where he will go through everything regarding shareholders agreement with you and your team members. Or if it's just a quick question, you can ask him in the chat. So in WhatsApp.
We did, in fact, yes, we did in the WhatsApp.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so that's cleared. And another thing, I was looking at the modules to do.
Yeah.
Is there any particular one that you suggest we should start with? Because I mean, it takes like 3 hours and 2 hours homework, so it's choosing. You need to choose.
Yes, well, definitely start with the startup playbook if you are playing as a startup founder. So that's the one that you start with, and then after that, once you go through the game, you will have to prepare your pitch deck. So then, of course, the next module to do would be the pitch deck module. So they're all in the first.
Yes, I saw them
in the first section. Yes, so these are definitely the first ones to start. But later on in the game, you will see that after you did these 2 initial quests, the other quests will actually tell you what skill lab module to take together with that quest. So you will be able to know which one it is. You don't have to take them, but if at least one person in your team does and passes it, then you will get more money after you win the quest.
Good. Okay.
We're kind of pushing, and this is where the Elena, the mentor, comes in, when they have to be sure that the team actually takes the skill lab module that is connected to the quest, because not only does it mean more money, but it also means they get more knowledge. And the mentor is supposed to push knowledge into the heads of the startup founders. Of course, the investor will be saying like, no, let's not do this. It's taking time. We need to go quicker. We need to go up the level, because that's what investors want. They want you to go quicker. So this is of course, the dynamic that you have to set up in the company for yourself and see how it works.
Good. So those 2, we both need to do them, and the others we can share. One does, or we do them all.
Yes, you can share. You can like just browse the modules without doing the homework if you just want to get the knowledge. The homework you have to do only if you want the money for that module, right?
For the company. The money would be for the company, not for the startup.
It's a bit different. There are 2 methods. So if you go through a quest, for example, there will be a quest that requires you to build a landing page for your company. And then the quest will say, hey, you're going to get 100 tokens if you win me, or you can get 200 tokens if, together with the quest, you take the skill lab module on building the landing page. So, for example, there is 2 of you in the team, and you decide, hey, well, Daisy says, yeah, I'm going to do the skill lab module, which means that the company will get 100 more tokens if we win the quest. But you, Daisy, as an individual as well, if you do that skill lab module and pass the homework, you will also get 100 tokens for yourself.
Okay,
so
good.
It's good for you and it's good for the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Of course, if you just do the skill lab modules without the quests, then you as an individual only get 100 tokens. The company doesn't get anything.
Good. Okay. Yeah.
But
sorry, can I ask you a related question to what you're saying now? My problem was that my co-founder and I are a little bit stuck at the moment because we signed the shareholders agreement, and then we started taking some modules, and this is going fine, but we see no quests available, and we would also like to proceed and, for example, start bringing the investor and the mentor, or just start building the company. I'm not sure if that's possible at this stage.
I'm not sure. Can you maybe tell me what it is that you see in the game? Where are you? Are you in your office?
So when I click game, the quest button is grayed out, so I cannot click anything. But actually, at this moment, the page is also not available because I can see the update notification that the page will be updated. So
yeah, you have to. If you can reload the page, it should be fine. If you are in your office and the quest is grayed out, take a look at the right top corner to see if the icon of the game master is going like this, is trying to attract your attention. Because if that's the case, then the game master wants to tell you something. And then you cannot do anything else until you talk to the game master. So the game master is a bit of an asshole telling you, hey, you have to talk to me first.
Okay. Right, so now the pitching part. Yeah, okay, then I will just proceed with the pitch. Thank you.
Yes, so you have to always, if something doesn't work, first look if there's nothing in your screen that goes like trying to attract attention. So because probably then this is the next step that you need to do.
Okay.
I kind of had a similar issue. Last week we were able to access the quest.
Yeah.
But now the same issue, the quest button is grayed out. When I click on the icon on the right top, the notification says that our team leader still has to approve a document. But our team leader says that they already approved the document. So I'm not sure if it's related, but we were able to access the quest last week. So I'm not sure if it's a bug or...
Yeah, it's hard to say without seeing the screen. So feel free to write on either WhatsApp or in the platform, and maybe if you can also send a screenshot or something like that, and give us maybe even here give me the name of your team, then at least we can check.
And with the rightful share.
Rightful share. All right. Let me write it down somewhere that I can take a look. Yeah, most probably it is someone who hasn't done their action, and that's why you are stalled. But we're gonna figure it out, and of course we're gonna try to make it more obvious so that people don't get lost in. When the developers are building stuff, they assume that everyone understands what to do next. And of course, that is not the case. And that's the whole idea of the pilots, to make sure that you guys, as the real users, tell us, hey, we have no freaking clue what to do next, and make sure that it's more obvious. All right. Someone else wants to ask something? Just to mention that if you have legal questions, anything about all the agreements, whatever, it's better if you ask them in the WhatsApp chat, and then the lawyer can actually answer, because I'm not a lawyer, so I can tell you a few things, but not the details of every article there, in case you're curious. Like I say, always when in doubt about the content, feel free to go to the marketplace and just explore what kind of cards there are, because you might find someone interesting to talk with. You never know who has what expertise, and there's something interesting that I would like to take as well there, but I hope I will have enough time. Yes, Daisy.
About the modules, sorry, I'm going back to them. Can we download the app and see them on the mobile, the modules, and do the homework on a laptop then? Or does it have to be always on a laptop?
You can't download them, but you can, I'm pretty sure you can copy a link. Let me just test it. I think when you open any of the modules, of course, now that I need to find somewhere where I have the modules. I have too many things open. So I'm gonna test. I'm gonna open a skill.
There on the FMS wiki, there's written, wait a minute. If you want to access FMS wiki outside of the platform, use the Notion file. It can be viewed on your phone.
This is for the Notion. I'm gonna test something I'm pretty sure that should work. Tested it on. Yeah. So for now, what you can do, the easiest thing if you want to access something on the phone is when you open the module and then you open the presentation. Just copy the link of that presentation and yeah, I don't know, send it to yourself on WhatsApp or whatever. So from your computer to your phone, just copy all the links from that module, and then you can open them on your phone.
Okay.
So for now, it's like this because we absolutely didn't do anything for the mobile version this time. First of all, yeah, we didn't have time to do this. Second of all, we didn't know exactly what would be required. And now, bit by bit, we understand that the mobile version has to contain, of course, the chat, the notifications, access to the skill lab, so certain things, right? So that will be done. But for now, it's yeah, manually copy the link. You can open the module, copy all the links in one time, send them to yourself on the phone, and then you can read them whenever you can. We did not create the ones that you can download, and that's done on purpose because this way we can actually fix the presentations on the go without changing the links or anything.
Yeah, sure.
Because
no, it's better that way, because if you're in a waiting room or on a bus or something, you can read slowly and then do the homework at home or something. Great.
I totally understand. I totally agree with you that we need to have something for the mobile, and that's of course on the roadmap, on the development roadmap.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Anyone else has any questions? While the CKs are talking in the background. Yeah, Christella? Just unmute yourself. Hi.
Hi, good day. I want to ask something about the quest. I'm a bit lost. Wait. So, the quest said that we had to create an article or a blog about startup mentors and mentees, and I don't know where to start right now. Is the intended audience like I should write it generally, or should I write it to my future mentees?
Yeah, the idea is that you, of course, do it for your future mentees. So it's something that will make you famous and popular over the platform, and that all the startups want to have you as a mentor, right? But of course, for the purpose of the pilots, it's very short, so probably not a lot of people will be able to get to know you pretty well. So try to maybe do it as a letter to a general future mentee. And I always advise to write these things not to someone who you're talking in third person. So don't write, hey, the mentees should be. Write, hey, you always use you, so that the person who is reading can understand that you're kind of, talking at them. I don't know if
Thank you for clarifying. I was about to write in third person, but yeah, you mentioned that I should write it in a letter format, like that. And one thing, I'm curious about the bookshop. I don't know if this was asked already, but like, how do you utilize that section, and where are the books?
I don't think there is anything in the bookshop at the moment. The idea was that anyone, including the users, can create any content, any presentation there. So we call it bookshop for now, but probably should be called presentation shop, but that's not a sexy name, of course, for it. The idea is that anyone who creates their own content, their own presentation, and that's actually going to be one of the quests for both mentors and investors. So if you're playing as a mentor, you will have that quest where you create a piece of content and then you put it up into the bookshop. You put a price on it, and we help you advertise it a bit, and hopefully someone will have the time to buy it from you. So that's the idea of the bookshop. It's quite empty at this moment, I think, but eventually it should become a place where people come to earn their credibility. So if you start as a baby mentor, of course, the first few weeks or whatever on the platform, no one knows you and you don't know much. So how do you start getting known to all the people, right? It's the same problem as we have in real life. You have to earn credibility. How do you earn credibility? Well, you have to start, giving people some value. How do you give them value? Create a presentation or how to do a thing or something useful for them so that they can use, they can gain value from, and then eventually, hopefully, they will give you the feedback, testimonials, and this is how you get started. So it's exactly the same process as you would have in real life. And here, of course, it's important that the content that you create is of good value, because otherwise people will not like it and they will give you bad reviews. So this is a way for you to test drive how building credibility works in real life.
So it's presentations, not like actual books.
If you manage to write a book and you want to put it up for sale in the marketplace, definitely do this. Yes. No, it's for now it's not books, but for the lack of a better word, for now it's called that. When it comes to the books, just something to mention that at the end of the pilot we will have some prizes, and the books on entrepreneurship are some of the prizes that we want to give to the best users, because there are a few books that we love and actually use them a bit in the modules, and we think it's very important for you to read some of them, to learn from the other entrepreneurs who have gone through the journey, because it's very helpful when you're just doing something for the first time and you think you're doing everything wrong, that you are constantly, fucking up, that you're all over the place, that you don't know what to do. And then you read a book by someone who, has built 3, 4, 5 startups, and they describe exactly the same journey that you went through. You feel like, oh my God, okay, it's not just me, right? It's like everyone is fucking up. Everyone is learning from these mistakes. So the books will be as prizes, and then maybe eventually at some point we can put those books there in the marketplace as well. Of course, they will have to cost a lot more, just because we actually need to buy them with on Amazon or whatever, and then you can get them from us by paying with tokens. So you have to earn in the platform, do some stuff, get the tokens, and then you can get those books. But for now, I think it's empty. I think for now only the skill shop is full. That one has a lot of choices, a lot of sessions that you can get, both with the experts, the coaches, your fellow entrepreneurs, because there's a few girls who already have their own startups, so they can actually teach you a lot of things as well. And for everyone who feels lonely in the platform, because I know there are a few girls who haven't found the team yet, so they feel a bit lonely, I always say, hey, there's plenty of opportunities to communicate. Go to the marketplace, find the people whose skills you think you would like to discuss, have sessions with them. So there's plenty of possibilities for interaction. Don't know if I answered your question, Christella. But...
Yeah. Thank you for clarifying. I really needed that.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I think Daisy wants to ask something.
Hi. Yeah. Sorry again. Sheka wanted to ask you, if when we do a homework, do we need to send it as a document or as a PDF?
if you read
or feedback, I mean, to get feedback on it.
Yeah, it's written there next to the homework submission, but of course we'll repeat it again. So if the rule is simple, if you want feedback, make sure you send a file that I can actually edit or comment in.
Okay.
Otherwise, I cannot give you feedback because we do the feedback directly in the document.
Like a Google Doc?
You can do a Google Doc. Some people use a Microsoft document, but make sure I have editing rights. You can even do it with Canva, but once again, make sure that you give me editing rights. So there are plenty of opportunities to do this, yes. Okay. Then I will give the feedback directly in the document, then you rework it. And once you are ready to submit it as an actual homework, turn it into an uneditable document, like a PDF, or just a Word document, but without the need to edit anything, because then it's just look through it and either approve it or not. There will be no feedback at that point.
Good. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, it's a bit confusing, of course, but that was the whole idea, to test how these things work. And
until you do the first one, so it's just getting started.
Yeah. The idea is that it's a shared document, right? I give comments, you rework it a bit, so that you don't have to go somewhere else to look at the feedback. It's more convenient when it's already in there altogether. Yeah. And of course, how do you know when you got the feedback, right? The question. Then once again, make sure that when you are in the platform and you see your avatar in the right top corner, if the notification sign goes like this, then you probably have a message. So check out that message, and it might say something like, hey, the game master gave you some feedback on the homework, or it might say, hey, your homework has been approved. And if that is the case, in the latter case, you will also see the increase in your wallet. If you want to know how much money you've been given for what, you can go to your wallet, scroll down, and there you will see the transactions that have happened. So if you received the money for doing some skill lab module, it will say a skill lab module, blah, blah, 100 tokens plus. So you will know what you're getting paid for and what you're wasting. Yeah. Also, if no one has any questions, I really want to say something. In the marketplace as well, there is a swag shop. I don't know if anyone has been there, but like, we are a platform for ladies, for girls, right? So we thought it would be nice to put something up there so you can change the look of your avatar. And we decided that for now it's gonna cost very little money. I think like 5 or 10 tokens, so like really nothing, when you can buy some things for your avatar. So just go check it out, see if you like, and let us know. I would really like to have some feedback, like if you think that this is interesting, or if it's too like, just for kids. I don't care about this. Just to know for us if it's something that we should put more effort in or not. Yeah, I think I bought fluffy bunny shoes for my avatar, and yeah, if you want to see how she looks, you have to go to my profile, and there you will see the full avatar. You will see that I'm wearing fluffy bunny shoes. What we do also, closer to the end of the pilot, your avatar, the one that you created, you can ask to have it in 3D. I don't know if I showed it to you, but maybe it's a good idea if I actually do show it to you at the moment. Give me a sec to find I can try to share it. Present now, tab. Yeah, well, you should be seeing my profile now. Yeah, by the way, if you want to find me, this is my nickname there. So this is my 3D avatar. You can see I bought myself a pair of bunny shoes, and I already have my 3D avatar. So I'm going to open it. It takes a bit of time to get this started because it's actually uploading a big file. So let's give it a second, or maybe a couple seconds. Okay, it's almost, come on, yeah. And there it is. Of course, here I do not have the bunny shoes yet because we're still upbuilding this feature. Hopefully should be ready by the end of the pilot, which was the idea. But yeah, so she's 3D, she's all yours. You can actually get the actual file from here. You also get your own certificate of ownership, which says that the avatar was created by our designer, but you are the owner of that avatar. And it's interesting and important for those who want to learn more about NFTs. And actually, if you do the metaverse module, you can also discover there that you can take your 3D avatar with you into the virtual reality, which is, of course, a cool thing if you're doing this for the first time. Let's stop sharing. I hope you saw that. Yeah. Well, that's also something a bit of a girly thing, maybe. And some people ask me, hey, why is it only for women? I said, because, well, there are certain things there that we want to do only for women. So it's also the sessions where we only have women, for example, because then women open up more. They don't have to be uncomfortable if there are too many people around. And we also wanted to test, of course, a few things that, yeah, guys might not be interested at the moment. But of course, it's all up for discussion. If you also say that, yeah, this is not interesting, we don't care about that, then of course we will have to rethink the whole thing. But yeah, feel free to please give us feedback, even if it's something that you don't like, which is especially interesting for us, because that means that we need to maybe look in a different direction. Someone has any more questions? Or if not, then we can probably go and enjoy our Monday. I don't know if anyone enjoys their Mondays. No. All right, then I'm gonna stop recording.